following is a production of Locked Up Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait.
When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso from the Brian Gunzel Studios on the day that the Mets clinch in Game 1 of the doubleheader. We were losing. It felt like we were losing because Diaz screwed up the spring training play, and he forgot to cover and bailed out by Francisco Lindor. Brett, we're in the playoffs.
Unbelievable. I truly, I can't. I went through all the emotions today, all of it.
Everyone, it was great.
Yeah,
you know what?
I thought it was your typical game. I thought it was your typical Mets game. I thought it was nothing's going to happen. The offense isn't going to show up. This team doesn't have it. We're not good in the clutch. We can't do it in Atlanta.
No, the typical
right?
Mets
That's what
game
you
is
got.
Without the home run, because I said
shut down by some rookie.
Losing because Diaz screwed up the spring training play and forgot to cover first base it felt par for the course as a Mets fan, right? Not used to having something happen after that, right? We saw the extended version of the movie that we've seen 100 times. We saw that movie 100 times.
This is it's the dream we've always had. We've always waited for that moment. We've seen the players come up. We've seen him in the big spot. We've seen Carlos Beltran with the NLCS on the line after an amazing play like we've had earlier. And this time, the Mets player, which it's amazing what your mindset's like when you don't think it's going to happen. We always hoped it was going to happen. This time, we're all sitting there like, no way, no way. It almost came as a surprise. It happened like first pitch right there. And next thing you know, even such a surprise that if you look at the broadcast, it didn't seem like it was a home run ball off the bat. Like you see it as a high fly ball.
No, because Gary's called too. He's like he pops one up to center,
right?
And you're like, oh, and then I thought it. I think I saw it before Gary. I got up. I was like, this is going. I saw the outfielder.
No, me too. I saw the outfielder. My first thing I remember sitting as a little kid at a baseball game. My grandfather going, and first one was a pop up, not even that far out of the infield, and he's like, no, and I thought it was a home run. He's like, no, just watch the outfielders. Just watch the outfielders. Well, and as soon as you saw him not even paying attention to where the ball was, that's when I was like, holy crap, this thing's out of here.
Yeah, and
Lindor's reaction didn't give it to me either, though. Like his reaction off the bat didn't give it to me.
And first of all, Diaz is not forgiven because of this. Okay, that was inexcusable. He walks he walks the guys all over the place, right? And then he gives up and then Alonso makes a great play at first base. And he forgets to cover.
He's nowhere to be seen.
Training play. Only the
and it was a hard hit ball, so he actually had time to recover, and he had time to recover from the little bit of a hiccup. If you didn't notice, he still would have got there. And it was so.
Only the Mets can lose. Only the Mets can lose.
No, of course.
The day after the season ends by not doing the spring training play right. I mean, and
you know they're not winning game 2. You know they're not winning game 2.
No. And
they're not.
We're not even paying attention.
They're just not.
No, they wouldn't have
no, I am. I'm looking right behind me right now. I'm looking at game 2, but it's and the Mets are losing 3-0. It looks like the Braves are going to get that spot.
And you know who was perfect? You know who loved everything about that game? The Diamondbacks. Because that played out perfect for them. They used both teams used all the players, all the pitchers.
They just needed the Mets to come through for them now, and
They might. I mean, it's the 6th thing, although it looks like the Braves are going to.
No. They're the Mets. Yeah, it's not going in that direction. But let me tell you. Let me tell you that game. There was the one play that changed the entire game. You're not going to think it is what you think it is, and there's a spot where the Mets are coming up and Bader's in the on deck circle, and they have the option, and he pinch hits Marte, and pinch hitting Marte and getting him in that spot spurred exactly what happens next, and it was
the Taylor at bat. Taylor at bat, 11 pitches, double.
No, it was the Taylor. No, it was the Taylor at bat. But I'm telling you, the move was every Met fan in unison was like pinch hit for Bader, pinch hit for Bader. I don't care what happens. It was either going to be Winker or it was going to be Marte, and Marte, who has shown in the last week, let me tell you, he's starting to come around. And then you have Alvarez.
Marte's good.
Oh, he's great. Alvarez with a clutch double. Iglesias with that 0-2 RBI. Unbelievable. He was down 0-2, shoots it the other way. That was huge.
And who told us that Marte was old? Oh, it was Casey Stern. Casey Stern was at the game because he's in Atlanta. He was at the game with his kids, like 5 rows off the plate. And I said, because I have him on Facebook, and he was there because he's a Mets fan. Remember, he grew up a Mets fan, but he did the TNT and stuff, and he still lives in Atlanta. And he was at the game. He told us Marte was finished.
Oh shoot!
Now where does first?
And then you get the Nimmo 2-run home run. Don't forget that's the one, that Nimmo 2-run home run, which he put in the upper deck out there. Which, let me tell you, he's been putting too many balls in the air and popping out, and he's not playing that Nimmo.
Did you see him showboat?
No.
He walked it. He walked it to first.
Because it's different. The Mets they're actually getting a feel for these clutch games. They did the same thing in Milwaukee. Like, you could see that it matters. You need to act differently. I don't think Alonso's there. Alonso, he doesn't. I mean, he made that one great play. I'll give him that play in the field, which didn't end up being anything.
No, there was another one too. The one where McGill almost threw it down the right field line, and he made the pick. And kept his feet
nice
on the
play.
I'll
give you that.
Play.
I will. I'll give you
So now, two things, Brett? Where does the Lindor home run rank among all-time Mets home runs? And 2, where does the game rank among all-time Mets games? Now it's a regular season game. It's not game 6. It's not any of those.
I mean, you want to just go regular season in general? I mean, what do we have?
It might be the best. You have the Piazza 9/11.
Piazza 9/11 is the most important regular season. When it comes to postseason and home runs, you have Ventura's grand single.
Is it
the grand single is a big one?
Right
Todd Pratt.
I think Todd Pratt's was bigger.
Clincher versus the Diamondbacks, another Diamondback crusher.
I think you could put it. I think you could put it with the Grand Slam single only because the Mets lost that series. Right? They won that. That was Game 5. They won the game.
Right.
But they lost the series. The Pratt one won the series. That
won the series, and it was so unlikely, and it was Pratt. Didn't Akbayani have one?
Akbayani
has the one.
Akbayani has one.
He has one. And then you go and you look into kind of similar to
regular season. Here's another one.
Piazza. No, but we have another one. We have the David Wright. The David Wright World Series home run.
No. This is not like that, though.
That was pretty.
Season. You know what this is? You know what this is? It's bigger than the Piazza 10-run inning home run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is a clincher. Bob, there's not many clinchers, so you can't compare them. Bob, do you understand what we just did in the fight we were in and how good we had to be to get here? This isn't like normal. What we just did changed the culture in Atlanta. Like, that's the point. Now, I don't care, like, what happens next. It really feels that way. We can carry this no matter what happens. Imagine, you know what the feeling is if we left this without a postseason berth? It means nothing this season. Yeah, now the season means something. It all means something now.
Yeah, well, this
group means something. Now, it's one of those ones you're never going to forget. Now, the game itself. No, then look up into the game of important games. Number one, I think. I mean, there's a guy who probably in the past who says, no, I was at a better regular season game. It clinched the division. This was it for us, man. And it's because it's in Atlanta. It's because it's Lindor. And because he's coming back from his back injury. And it's like Willis Reed coming out. It's like Kirk Gibson coming out. This was for the Mets. This is never forgotten.
No, here's what it is.
I'm telling you, this guy's more hurt than you realize. Like, this guy couldn't come play, and he's never not playing unless he really something major is going on. That was 2 days ago.
I heard on the radio, and Bob Usler, when he texted me after the game, also mentioned that it's like the Lenny Dykstra home run in the Game 6 of the NLCS when they were getting shut out by like Bob Nipper or something, and Dykstra hit a home run in like the 7th or 8th inning they won like the game like 2-1. That was one of the all-time games, that Game 6.
Yeah.
And then they got it back to Shea Stadium and they won that, but that was an NLCS. That might be bigger, but it's the same kind of feel. This gets them in. Now let's see what they can do. They're not going to do anything with this bullpen. I mean, Diaz is not off the hook here.
They got themselves. No, let me tell you. No. Stearns isn't off the hook. Stearns isn't off the hook. He wasn't willing to give up someone in the top 20 of prospects to go get someone who's the setup man. So now we don't have a setup man. And so, which means our setup man is the guy who should be pitching in that little in-between game in the 7th inning when you need to. We don't have that now because he's our setup man
in this game.
Right. We got Maton. He tops out at 89. That's 89 miles an hour. And I'm not saying he's not effective.
No, he's good. He's good. Did the Braves make a mistake? But I think they totally did by pulling. What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
By pulling him after the double?
Yeah.
Because they panicked, right? He panicked a little bit.
Was I wrong? Am I
he had
making
like
up names
85 pitches. He had 85 pitches.
Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach. When we were pulling Schwellenbach.
Yeah, because he hits the double.
No, you know where the error was? The error was walking him out in the 8th inning. It was uncharted territory. He's never seen the 8th inning.
I think he could have
never seen it. Never seen the 8th inning.
5 hits in a row.
You got everything out of him. That's the moment where that guy walks away and says, feels perfect, that they have a bullpen. You're thinking as a Mets fan without a bullpen. They've got a bullpen.
85 pitches. The
I
Mets
know
couldn't touch him. The Mets couldn't touch him.
I just don't.
Lights out.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you this. Ready? You either go one way or the other. You either put him out there and it's his inning.
Yeah, that's what
or you don't run him out there. You do not put him out there for one batter, let up a little, hit or a walk or whatever it could have been that occurred, and then yank him. I was surprised, and I was very happy. The moment he was coming out, I go, oh, my God. Not only do we have a runner on base with nobody out versus him, he's not in the game anymore. And that was the 11-pitch at-bat, that battle right there. Let me tell you, that was the one
that was the game that got it going. That got them going. Because within 10 minutes of that, it was 4-3. It was 6-3.
No, definitely. But that next decision was, we can't change that. Like, Mendoza doesn't have an effect on what happens there in that at-bat. But what he does have an effect on is that next thing. What happens? Oh, do I put up Bader? Listen, you have a decision now. Winker's better. He's a lefty. But Winker matches up better. You're a lefty, but he's been cold. It's the reason you're not starting. Marte should have started this game from the beginning. Now, let me tell you, I was just so happy that he did exactly what I wanted him to do. It worked out for them, and that inning just proved to them and the confidence they're going to have, which is the most important thing going into this. They didn't go in losing. They didn't go in backing their way in like the Braves are going to do. Yeah. They're going to go in winning. And with Severino going and possibly Minaya and then possibly Peterson right behind him. I don't know what the lineup's going to be. But if that actually happens, look at that. Look at that lineup.
Now, who do you want?
I don't know if that's what's going.
You want Milwaukee?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just sending me to Milwaukee. I just don't. I don't know what it is about the West Coast. The only positive is the West Coast game starts at like 8 tomorrow, whereas the Milwaukee game starts at 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's a little difference.
I guess that does matter. You're right.
Because,
I guess it does. Yeah, I guess. But
it does
the time when
enough,
they go out there anyway.
But honestly, I don't want to go. I'm not gonna say I don't want to go to San Diego.
I want San Diego because they beat us. They embarrassed us last 2 years ago.
I get it, but I just feel like we're gonna go to Milwaukee, and I know it's not like what we've been doing. I feel like we're just gonna go to Milwaukee and win games. Right? Like they're just not ready. They haven't played competitive baseball really in a couple days, and San Diego has. But anyway, it doesn't really even matter.
Did Lindor just get his number retired?
No, you got to put up years now. You got to put up years. You can't
if they win the World Series.
World Series. No. You got to put up years and get a ring.
He's put up years, right? This year is an all-time year.
The only thing I'm saying is, yes, if he finishes his contract as a Met. No, if he finishes his contract as a Met, yes. Did this do it? Where if he got hurt tomorrow, he's being hung up on? No. Now, if he takes them to a World Series this year, you're getting pretty freaking close. Okay. You don't have to win it yet. Winning it's just icing on the cake.
They still got to do Gary Carter. They still got to do David Wright. There's still work to be done, and that's down the line. Yeah. That's whatever. But
I'd like to. Yeah, you're hanging things from the rafters. I just want to win a game in Milwaukee. We don't even know where we're going yet.
Now I had said, I've been saying for months that the way this season is going to end, whenever it does end, whether it was today or next week or whenever it ends, it's going to be a game like that, like Diaz going like a 3-run lead, and then you have the balls to run him out in the ninth. Oh, I'll give you this though.
I'll give you this though.
Ran him out in the ninth.
He got the fact that he got through that. And first of all, we're not sure yet, and we discussed this before. There's a very good chance he got a blown save, a save, and a win. Not sure if that's a real thing. If that's legal.
Are you sending them out? Because that's ballsy to send them out. I know we said I'm going out in the ninth. If we're going to lose, I'm going to lose.
If you showed
I'm
me
not letting him go in the
confidence and said to me,
I have no confidence
like
in him.
exactly that. If you turned to me like he did, because Hefner came over to him and was like, he goes, I don't care what happens. I'm going back out there.
Yeah, he goes.
I was like, you know what? I'd be like, you know what happened? Did you see what they did? They were smart. They hedged their bet. They go, oh no, we got you. They did exactly what the Braves did to Schwellenbach. They did exactly what the Braves did. They sent him out there, and they go, okay, no problem. You get one batter.
Yeah,
that one batter works out.
Run on second, right?
Let me tell you, and this is where Mendoza came through. Mendoza walked out there like a manager, and he knew what he was doing. He knew Diaz is going to say, "Take me out of this game." He was playing mind games. No, I know, but he was going out there and giving his guy. He goes out there. Hey, I'm out here.
You see Alvarez get pissed at him in the 8th inning when after he
of course he did. It wasn't even after not covering. It was after not throwing strikes either.
And it's a
he wasn't throwing strikes.
And
he looked over at him. He was like, "Throw strikes." Like, are you kidding me right now?
It's such your head's not in the game.
Do you know what he was saying too?
You don't cover
he was
first
saying,
base. What are you doing?
And he was. You know what he was saying to him? He goes, "You're blowing what just happened. You're really gonna blow this for us right now." Like he really was. And I love that at a young age, he's such a leader back there.
He came out with a bag of popcorn
he's a hot
in the dugout the second game. Brazoban's out there again. Brazoban's pitching they should have started, as punishment, they should have started Diaz in the second game. Been like, you know what, you're going out there, you're pitching 5 innings. Because I can't deal with it. I'm not with Diaz I'm not on that Diaz train, nothing. I don't care what he did in that 9th inning. That's inexcusable. The season's on the line and you forget to cover first base?
I think
if Alonso makes a diving play? Come on.
And I was trying to get to that before, but it was like that. I think that it's good to get it out of his system, and we still got the win out of it. Like, that's not going to happen every day. Now, I feel like with another day's rest, and next time you're going to get a more not as he got that anxiety out of him. That's tough. Like,
you think he's a nervous guy, because
he's the guy where
he's too nervous or cocky. I think he's too cocky. Or you think like he gets nervous and rattled? I think he's like, I got this. I'm the best thing ever.
I think he stinks. No, I think he starts too cocky, and then he gets rattled too easily. And I think it's somewhere in between, like where he comes in, and then the problem is this: the moment he's in a situation where one pitch can give up the game, he starts trying to pitch around the zone. He doesn't try and throw strikes anymore. He tries to pitch around the zone, and so like it gets. And then what happens is he goes down 2-0. And when he goes down 2-0, now he's got to either that next one, he's either going to get it. It's either a meatball. And if he hangs one of it, it's just he gets himself in a bad spot where you just need to be your pitcher. Pitch how you pitch, throw strikes, be effective, realize you have movement on your stuff. You're throwing 98 to 101. And the Braves just officially have clinched. The Braves are heading out. The Mets are heading to Milwaukee. I know Bob's looking at something that is probably way behind right now. I can see the look on his face. It is game over. No, it is game over. Welcome, everybody. Bob, I'm going to bring you up to... It is September. It's September 30th, 2024.
Why
just so
am
you know.
I in the 7th inning?
I'm watching the Braves celebrate on the field.
What's the score?
And that's why the Braves are celebrating on the field. I'm trying to get a view of the Mets where they're celebrating. I don't see anything yet because the celebration's about to start. They are staying. Gary, Keith, Ron, they are all going into the locker room. They're going to be there for the celebration. They're staying with us after the game. The Braves are out there with the flags. The Mets look like they've retreated into the dugout, into the locker room.
We already did.
They're not going to celebrate on the field. I was wondering. No, I know, but you might, be like,
I
love it.
What happened? Now, we didn't say what happened now here. If the Mets are down 3-0, it's like the 5th inning, 6th inning. I have to get to the post office to mail some packages. So I like, listen, they were dead, right? In that game. They had 2 hits. They couldn't touch this guy. He wasn't coming out. So I said, let me go.
They were down 3-0 in the most important game ever. And all I thought to myself was, how is everybody so negative? I couldn't believe the Twitter reaction. And I was on the Evan and Tiki live telecast. I was on that one.
I laughed.
And let me tell you, even them, they weren't even like paying attention. Everybody was talking about game 2. Everybody talked about game 2. It's the 6th inning. People were talking about game 2.
That
was the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. I wrote 100 comments about you guys are out of your minds.
I took the baby and I went to the post office to drop the package off, and I listened to the game on the radio. And it's 3-0 when I leave. When I get to the post office, it's still 3-0. As I'm walking out of the post office, I make it 1 block. It's 3-3. By the time I get home, it's 6-3. 5 minutes after I get home, it's 7-6 Braves. And I'm like, oh no, like what? It's not. It's gonna be me again. Then the whole thing happened. Now I'll tell you another break that the Mets caught. If that's a grand slam, which I thought it was for sure a grand slam, and instead of hitting the wall, it's a whole different situation too.
Let me tell you, you don't know the emotions. You got to see score changes, Bob. You don't understand. It's like you don't understand. And like it was so horrific. It was so horrible, and I'm just screaming at enjoy because when you go from no offense to offense like that, it's like this adrenaline rush. It's like someone giving you like you're just like, oh my god, like you lose your mind, and for everything to be happening in the right thing, and to watch something get taken away so swiftly. And in a way that you know that as a team, you've never recovered from in your franchise history, ever. You've seen this game, and you go, oh, no, we'll battle back. We'll get a guy on and hit a home run in the ninth, right? Never, ever happens. It was unbelievable. Just to witness it, I wish. I
wish. Take anything away from it, the fact that, let's say the Mets lost that game, Diaz blows the save, they lose 7-6, is that the Mets would have had the same exact game that the Braves just had here, and they'd be in it too. Right? The Braves weren't going to try. The Braves burned everybody out that game. The Mets were going to win game 2.
No, I don't know that at all. I have very little faith in that offense. Not getting burned by some random rookie pitcher. No, but like I really thought they were going to get like we've seen. How many times have you seen a guy be like, "This is his first career start here versus the Mets?"
The Mets always.
And the guy friggin' 1 hit, no earned runs, 8 innings, and they're like, "We either start." I just couldn't do it. Like. I think that there's this pressure that the Braves don't have, that the Mets have, that these players are being so deep.
They didn't fill the ballpark either. Like, what's up with that?
No, Bob, you don't understand, Bob. I can tell you right now, for us to go to Atlanta,
$40
there,
right? Decent seats,
no, Bob, I'm going deeper. Flying to Atlanta and landing at a JFK there yesterday, either at night
or this morning. I'd work, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, either way. No, either way, it didn't matter. I just would have been worried about missing it with weather or whatever. With the tickets, 500? Flying home, round trip, the whole. Oh no,
hotel,
the tickets
hotel,
were
right?
the tickets were under 100 right behind the dugout. So right behind the Mets dugout for under 100.
$80.
And it was like $250 for the flight, if that.
So for like $500 all in, we could have went to the game there and back in the morning.
Yeah, easy. Now, I'm just saying that it was. But it's a different environment when you go there. It's not like you're walking into City Field. Like you're like,
Yeah.
You're walking into enemy territory over there.
So it's tomorrow. It's Milwaukee, right? We got Milwaukee now?
Milwaukee.
Back to Milwaukee.
Somewhere in the afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock,
They didn't even check out of the hotel. They're right back in the
No, they
hotel.
left the stuff. They left most of the stuff.
So back 4 o'clock tomorrow?
That's where you hope you tipped well on the way out, man. If you don't, you got to walk back in and it's the same maid and like you totally trashed the place. And you were like, sorry, we were a little mad. We were expecting a champagne. There we go. We got the Mets. The Mets are in the clubhouse. You have Mendoza giving a speech with the goggles on, the champagne out, the October ready shirts.
Brett, do you tip in
and
hotels?
they are Diaz in the middle, like you didn't just almost trying to ruin our lives. Diaz right in the middle.
Diaz not allowed to be.
Right in the middle.
You can't get drunk here, right? You can't get drunk. You got a game at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to be on the flight in an hour and a half. They can't go out and get drunk tonight.
Yeah, no.
It's not the 86
team.
They're not good enough.
Severino can't get drunk, and you know he's getting the drunkest. And you know he's getting the drunkest. He's already drunk. He was up all day. He was waiting. As soon as Lindor hit that, he probably started getting drunk after the Nimmo home run, and then he was like, shit. No, after Atlanta came back, he was like,
No, because Lindor's the kind of guy who has like 2 sips of champagne and he's running around naked in the room.
Yeah,
that's Lindor. Because Lindor's definitely not a partier. So 4 o'clock tomorrow. It's the Mets. It's the Brewers. We're in the postseason for the 11th time in franchise history.
Clinched it. 11 out of 63 or something crazy.
11th time in franchise history. It feels like it should be more, right? Like we've been around for a lot of them. Like we've seen a lot of them. Like we've seen like 6 or 7. Right?
I mean, It's not that many, I don't think. I don't think it's as many as you think. You know what it is? You're thinking of a series clincher too, probably.
Same postseason.
Right in that, we got 2 that year, and it's like all of a sudden you're that's all the ones we got. It was all in those 2 years.
Now, because of this, right?
They're blowing the champagne off right now. The Mets, they're having a celebration
because we're going right into it tomorrow, red hot on a streak, right? Do you like our chances better than the Yankees? Yankees get this delay. They don't even play the first round.
I don't like anybody's chances that has to play a whole series and win it to get where the other team is. Like, what are the Mets odds right now? 40% to pass the Brewers?
What do you think?
Probably,
20,
right?
30, what do you think?
40% or so.
The World Series. I'll look right now. What are they to win the World Series?
I don't know what. I don't know what the best teams
20
even
to 1 maybe.
at.
20
I
to
don't
1
even know what the best team's at.
Well,
all I know,
I can tell you right now.
No, they're definitely getting drunk. Just so you know, clearly they're getting drunk.
All right, so to win the World Series, the Dodgers are.
They had a whole game. They had a whole game to get drunk. They've been getting drunk.
The Mets are
22-year-old kids who just clinched a freaking wild card spot.
The Mets are plus 2,300, so 23 to 1. The Yankees are plus 450.
900.
Plus 450 for the Yankees.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst is the Tigers, plus 3,000. And the Dodgers are plus 350. And the Phillies are plus 380. Yeah.
Mets, Tigers, World Series.
Braves are below the Mets at 23. No, Braves and the Mets are 2,300, plus 2,300.
We should.
Brewers are at 2,000, plus 2,000.
Okay, I got one for you. If the Mets play the Tigers, who's home? That's the only chance I think the Mets have.
Oh, I think the Tigers
at
might
being.
Have a better record.
No, the Mets, if they were in the AL, would have been first place in the wild card, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So then the Mets got it.
So I think that's the Mets, Tigers, is Mets getting home.
Tigers are the hottest team in baseball. They're even hotter than the Mets. They're hotter than anybody.
Vegas doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I guess you're right.
That's how it goes. It's route. It's a route.
What time is it really 7:14? Like, I don't know what time it is now. The game's still on, Brett. I'm in the 8th inning.
It is 7:14. I'm watching Gary, Keith, and Ron discuss, the celebration, really, right now. I mean, just like we are.
That's it. We'll be
Can't
back
believe it.
after the postseason
Mendoza
games.
interview.
I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, this is so great.
I'm off tomorrow. You go watch the interviews. I'm going to watch the end of this game. We are going to leave you, Brett, postseason. We made it. We're going to leave you tonight
Bob.
with some sounds from the game, from game one of the best games in Mets history. The Mets clinch. Here's what it sounded like. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.
Number 11 from Schwellenbach to Taylor. And he drives one to the gap in left center field. That's going to be between them and all the way back to the wall. Taylor heads for second. He's got the Mets' first extra base hit of the day. A leadoff double in the 8th inning. But into center field, a base hit. Alvarez is in. Marte stops at second. 4 straight hits for New York. Lindor drives in a run, and it's 3-2. Vientos pops one up, shallow center field. Harris is there, tagging is Lindor. Harris makes the catch. Here comes Lindor. The throw to the plate is cut off, and the Mets have the lead. Mark Vientos with a sacrifice fly to bring in Francisco Lindor with the 4th run of the inning. And Nimmo clocks one to deep right field. White goes back, takes a look, and it's out of here! Brandon Nimmo puts a hammer down with a 2-run homer. It's a 6-run barrage for the New York Mets in a game that could put them in the postseason. Nimmo with his 23rd home run, a 2-run shot, and it's 6-3 New York.
Kelnick grounds it, it's fair. Alonso diving stop, but Kelnick reaches. White scores, and it's 6-4. That ball is hit out to left. Nimmo is back. Let go. Wall. The Braves are going to grab the lead back. Let's go. A bases clearing RBI double for
Johnson ready. His first pitch to Lindor. Swinging a high fly ball, well hit right center. Harris going back. It's on the way. It is gone. Into the Braves bullpen in right center field. Francisco Lindor has an MVP moment. Whether he wins one or not, he has just put the Mets back on top. a 2-run home run, his 33rd of the year. He's not only hugged by Marte lifts Lindor off of his. Diaz sets the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball, slowly hit to short. Waiting on it, Lindor. He's got it. Throws to first. Put it in the box.
From 0-5 to OMG, Mets are going to the postseason in 2024. Down 3-0, up 6-3, down 7-6. Lindor with the home run to put him over the top, and Diaz stretched to the max to close it out, and the Mets win it 8-7.